On the evening of November 10, my parents drove me to the bus terminal in Naga City so that I could get on the bus to Manila, and I had to get to Manila so that I could get on my flight to Yogyakarta, which is scheduled for November 10. I booked that flight in September because my abstract got accepted to the OSLI ASEAN conference. I also went on the previous OSLI ASEAN conference in 2023, which was held in Chiang Rai, Thailand, and I will link the playlist in the description box. And in a short while, we were all asked to go on the bus. I picked this bus because it is a single seater and has a huge leg room. I could place my large suitcase in there and use it as a place to put my legs up, so I won't have to wear compression socks during this 10-hour bus ride. I could have just packed my small suitcase, carry-on size, but conferences usually give us gifts and souvenirs, so I needed a way to bring them back home. Now, for about a week prior, we have been getting news about a super typhoon that's coming our way, and I was waiting for cancellations from either the bus line or the airline or both, but at this point, nothing has come yet, so I decided to move forward. I registered as an on-site presenter for the conference, so I must honor that commitment as far as I am able to. The bus has a speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour, and it is also equipped with a CCTV. The road to Manila was clear, probably because people decided to postpone their trips in anticipation of the storm. If I could do that, I would have. This is the Philippine-Japanese Friendship Road, also known as the Maharlika Highway. The horrible condition of the roads, though, remains consistent. There's always some kind of road work going on, and those repairs never really last. Roads are always going to pieces in this country, especially in this province, Camarines Sur. But while on this bus, I received an email from the airline, AirAsia, telling me that my flight for November 10 has been canceled and I can reschedule for free or get a full refund or opt for credits that I can use on my next flight. I tried doing the rescheduling from my phone while on the bus, but the chat bot on the AirAsia app kept failing. However, as soon as I got to my brother's house in Quezon City at around 5:30 a.m., that's my suitcase over there, I immediately hopped onto my email on my computer, and from this email, I clicked the reschedule button, which led me to the desktop version of the airline service, and the chatbot was able to reschedule my flight to November 12 quickly and without a problem. I also informed my hotel in Yogyakarta that I will be checking in at a later date, and then I changed into my sleeping clothes, and then I grabbed some food in the kitchen, and then washed up and brushed my teeth, and then plugged in my devices for charging. My brother's kids are back from their vacation with their two sets of grandparents, so I will be staying in the living room, which actually worked very well for me because I still had tons of work to do. If I stayed in the bedroom, I'll end up sleeping all day and get nothing done. Here's my new bag Smart Duffel, which is on its very first trip away from home. I like the shape, it's squat and bottom heavy, and really does carry everything I need on any given day. Later on that same morning, still on November 9, I worked on the conclusion for my paper for the conference. The conference is on November 13 and 14, and the paper was not required to be submitted, but we were required to send our slides on November 10, and I could not send my slides if I haven't finished my conclusion yet. The conclusion was a little difficult for me to write because that's the part where I wanted to mention the flood control problem in our country as the most recent example of the points that I wanted to make in my paper. And I will show the title of my paper later, but I did it. I wrote my conclusion, but then it required me to make some edits to the other parts of the paper just so everything would be cohesive and flow well together. And I also had to adjust the length of my script for the presentation so that it will run only for 10 minutes. We are only given 10 minutes. And I did that, but I was actually not very confident about anything at this point, but it's a presentation, not yet the submission for the actual paper. So the presentation itself will be a good venue to hash out what I missed saying or how to make it better for eventual publication. And then, of course, after that, I can already work on my slides. As part of the slides, I did have to take a photo of the book that I analyzed in my paper. It's The Betrayed by Rain Arcache Melvin. I have both the ebook and the physical book. And by the way, I do have a video of myself reading the physical book from cover to cover. I will link that video down below. Okay, now just to show you the weather here at before midnight, it is very, very still. There is no rain and not even much wind at all. It feels so quiet and ominous knowing that a super typhoon is coming. My things are a mess, but I fixed them in the morning. Here's the sky over Quezon City as viewed from the fourth floor balcony of my brother's house. And here's the title of my paper, The Dark Garden, The Failed Promises of Post-Martial Law Philippines and the Power of the Eco-Feminine in Rain Arcache Melvin's novel, The Betrayed. But because it's a presentation, like I said, not a submission for a publication, I prepared something more like a script, removing all of the notes. And this is part of the conclusion. And here is my slide deck. That is the official virtual background for the event. And here is where I have inserted that photo I took earlier. And then I decided to go to sleep. Here is my view from the sofa. The next morning, as I was preparing to take a shower, it suddenly rained really, really hard. Here's how it looks from the window of the bathroom on the fourth floor. because it was already November 10, I needed to submit my slides. Here are the instructions for how to submit them. And by the way, here is the schedule for my presentation. I'm in parallel session 4 in room 3. Okay, now that the conference matters have already been dealt with, I can get some work done with my actual jobs, which entail a combination of writing for marketing using SEO guidelines, placing material on the content management system, also some project management and coordination tasks, and also a bunch of rewriting for a website that I needed to update. That's really been my work since last year, aside from the ESL classes. Everything is completely online and I can bring my work wherever I go as long as I have good internet connection. And when it comes to internet connection and traveling, I do have a pocket Wi-Fi that I talked about in a previous video, which I will link down below. But while I'm in my brother's house, I use his Wi-Fi at home. During the day, I suddenly got a craving again for mulak ensaymada. Which I ordered from Grab Food, for which I do have a discount as a registered person with a disability. I ordered 2 boxes because there were 7 of us in the house, and I already tend to eat a lot of these. Each box has 12 ensaimadas. Ensaimada is a kind of bread that is topped with cheese. It has different sizes and shapes, and even the dough is different from every bakery, it feels like. But from Mulaks, the ensaimada is soft and round and super fluffy, and they have different flavors, as you can see. And it is small and very, very cute. I cannot have just one of these. I usually have 3 in one sitting. For the rest of the day, I just chilled on the couch and then I decided to watch Oddity on my computer. This day, November 10, was supposed to be the day of my flight, but a lot of things in life never go as planned. What matters is that we can still move forward with more safety and a sense of peace.